what exactly is society doing for us? This, I know, I'm perfectly aware that this is one of these forbidden questions you're not supposed to ask. You're supposed to ask yourself, what can I do for society? Yeah, you shouldn't have pretensions. Nevertheless, we do have this system, and we do have it for a reason. We wouldn't waste great values of things if we didn't need them. And yeah, that would be plain stupid. And they found it for a reason. They have a purpose, or at least they are supposed to have some kind of purpose. And besides, we're paying for this. Either some private insurance, or it's financed by taxes, some official system. But we do usually pay. And what exactly is that we're paying for? There seems to be some kind of general pattern in this, that to qualify you need either to be in no actual need for an service or help, or you're so far out that you are beyond hope, beyond repairing. At that stage, there seems to be limitless resources of economic values and all that stuff. I actually saw some TV show, some guy who he was into some pre-stage of some kind of dementia. He had not started to develop the actual disease, was a pre-stage. And in his situation, he, for very obvious reasons, he will be rather concerned about getting some knowledge about how to get as much time as possible, keep the brain as healthy as possible for as long time as possible, because we all know what we're dealing with, what the future has in store. And this is what you will be interested in delaying. And I start to seek information, surf around the World Wide Web, and call healthcare system, and it appeared that they're really it's big business, this whole thing with dementia care and support from society and organizations different kinds of private voluntary wealth, and nothing really for those in this situation who try to save as much as possible of his life, and he had made some observations about this too, that those preventions, those early actions, interventions, hardly exist. And I also, this was actually many years ago, I was thinking about those kind of job services and stuff. How many people do you know who ever got work from any such institution? Getting employment is something you do through completely other channels. They might have some web page with vacancies, but those professionals, they're not really dealing with employment, they're dealing with unemployment. Administrating those people, being outside the market, control functions to make sure that they are not cheating, and this whole thing with artificial activities founded so that people won't just stay home watching TV, and they won't appear quite as unemployed. And also to push things somewhat more towards the edge, the police authorities. If you think about occasions when you or relatives or acquaintances, friends have had an interaction with the law, and I'm not speaking about situations where there's an actual crime, but you may be suspected, or they may want to talk to you. So those times when you have been subject of any kind of violence, is it more common that the violator is a criminal or a cop? And how many times have you actually had any help from the police when you have been in some situation? Yeah, I'm aware that these things do happen, but which is more common? That your interactions have been the police officer helping you, or making things unpleasant? Which is more common? Then you might perhaps add that it's not only about action, it's about prevention, the very presence of them makes people less eager to commit crimes. Is that so? Those committing crimes, they usually do this not really in front of the police, do they? They have other ways. And yes, they do catch some criminals. If looking at them, they're just scum, slackers, like people without direction. It's not the real bad guys most of the time, because they get their shit done without having it on their nails. And school, how much do we actually learn in school? Of those things that we actually do know, and apart from reading and writing, maths, which is more like a key to further knowledge, studying those things that you actually know, those things that you actually can do. How many of these things, how much of it originates from school? So this reading and writing, spend some 2 years to learn the basics, and after that you can do pretty much on your own, advancing from that, self-study. How much have we actually had from school? And social services, social security, and welfare stuff. Because I have heard so many stories about this, people just getting into some kind of situation, some things happened, too many things happened at once, or things happened because of each other or something, without any actual person having caused the things. And this person is not really guilty with anything. And is there some kind of service? Only it's perhaps only a month, maybe temporary, the person is temporarily disabled perhaps, and in need for some extra hands for a very brief time. No, we do not really deal with such things. Then who does? Well, that I'm not sure. Perhaps call some local authorities, institutions. No one actually knows, and there are no systems, no structures, nothing indeed. Yeah, but this is the fact, and it tries to explain these things with happen if not, and maybe some economical issues that this happened now, and I'm standing before a complete catastrophe. But this rather small amount would prevent things from happening. Yeah, I see your dilemma, but we can't really supply you with anything in this situation, with the result that things crack completely. Some little thing, let's say he will lose his job or something like that because of this. He did nothing wrong, yet this will happen, and as a result of that, poor financial situation and getting in trouble with paying bills or whatever, and getting into deeper and deeper economical problems, perhaps come to that stage where it becomes necessary for survival to stretch things some as far as possible. First, smaller things, you should have changed your tires for winter tires, but I do not have them and I can't afford them right now. I take the chance. And it happens that police officers stops into the check, and yeah, then comes a bill for that, which means you will not have the money next month, and he will not take the risk of getting into the same situation once again, and therefore he starts stretching somewhere else, and it becomes this chain of troubles, and no one knows what the final bill will actually be. All things added, for this social misery, and maybe other issues with problems with family, friends, relatives, and such, and becoming alone on their own, above all that other stuff, knowing that when things happen the next time, there will be no one dragging my car to the mechanic, and how actually is this person supposed to deal with this, and all those hundreds of thousands or millions that will be wasted in nursing her, or keeping her locked up, or sorting things out for the rest of her life, compared to those few thousands of money. Human life is wrecked beyond repair, only because there is a missing stage. Would you be healthy or problem? There would certainly be some things that she might apply for to get some extra some extra cash, and when things really collapsed, then there are no limits for how much resources we can afford, especially if it's about controlling repression and stuff. But at that critical stage where you have a choice, should we just do this little intervention to prevent things from happening, or should we let it crash and send her all the way to hell? And I believe the answer should be very obvious.